Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body and keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound, and while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take a few minutes for ourselves to understand about this practice. Because in the beginning, rather than how to practice meditation, you have to be very clear with why you have to practice meditation. Even not about only meditation, in anything in your life, it is important to know yourself why you have to practice this. From civilization to civilization, generations to generations, culture to culture, tradition to tradition, idea about the self every day becomes stronger. And most of time, we all are in a journey to kind of like have self-fulfillment. So in that level, in the conventional level of self-fulfillment means out of our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, finding our satisfaction. And at the same time, that fulfillment is not permanent. So because of that, sometimes, not all the people, some people look a little bit more deeper. So when they go deeper, that journey we call self-discovery. So self-fulfillment, when that is not enough, we go deeper into self-discovery. So self-discovery, so the idea of self, I am, and discovery, discover, the whatever covered, it remove. So what is covered? This self. It covered by our own thoughts, our own desires, our own fulfillment, our own mental formations, which we call the sanskara. So when something comes to our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind as perception, our previous information interfere with that perception and try to analyze it. So that analytical method most of time depend on comparison. So once we use that, our own history, our own knowledge, our own thoughts, our own experience to analyze the present moment of perception, we come to our own point of view. So that leads us to go towards again whatever the outside object. So this mechanism, in a certain level, we say we experience the life. But the thing is, out of our own experience, what we analyze is not going to become clear understanding. We start to miss something. So what we missing here? So as example, if you bring a kind of like analogy, just imagine seeing the ocean. So all the water. But if you start to see the waves, bigger waves, stronger waves, smaller waves, so like that you can categorize. But how about, can you separate the waves from the water? If you see the water, that all belong to the water. But once you start to see the waves, it separates you from the water. So like that, our point of view most of times separate us from the true nature. So because of that, what happens? This idea of self become more and more and more stronger. But when it comes to practice meditation, it helps you go deeper, and rather than separating the moment of experience, you go beyond that and you go beyond the comparison and understand its true nature, not from your point of view. So it's like this. So in this very moment, we experience this life around us. Even though on the surface level, we experience this life like this, underneath, this underground, there is a different kind of mechanism happens. So just imagine when it comes to a city, on the surface level, even though you look, it kind of like nice buildings and plants and flowers, trees, that's kind of things. So underneath the ground, underground, so there's a sewage system. It's very important. Maybe you go to the bathroom and you just flush it. And then, but there is a 24/7 huge mechanism happen this underground. So for a city, that's very important. But normally people don't see it. That is one of the major part of the city. Another one is the water. So then maybe you go early in the morning when you wake up and you go to the bathroom, you open the tap, so the water coming. So, but the thing is, It's 24/7 underground. There is a mechanism happens. We don't see it. But it becomes a very major part of that outside world. So the electricity the same. And internet the same now. So when it comes to our body, even though we are so busy with this outside appearance, so how about underneath this skin? Especially the blood circular system. It's 24/7 and running around your whole body. And that is very important to have a very healthy lifestyle. But we don't see it. So the same thing with the moment of experience with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. So what we experience on the surface level is not exactly happens in the underneath that. But on the surface level, if you go with that, and if you take it as the reality, it always build up the idea of self, or it always build up the idea of I am. But when you have a very clear, sharp mind, it will take you deeper to recognize very different nature of life. So when it comes to that, the moment by moment, this whole experience come out of causation, cause and effect. It is not a kind of like a permanent experience. There is no kind of like a permanent subject or the object that you can find or analyze or name as something independently, separately itself exist. This everything appear, this everything experience as part of something. So understanding that intellectually may be possible. But the thing is, our purpose is go deeper and get the direct experience. So when it comes to our mind has different capacities. So these capacities in the ancient time used to name as iddhi. So iddhi kind of like one is in the very conventional level, iddhi means, so as example for a bird, the very completion of the bird is flying. So like that, when it comes to the very completion of your humanity, your life is recognition. So when it comes to a vehicle, it's running. It's kind of like a driving. And for a path, road, giving access to things or the people. So iddhi, when it comes to a cup, the holding something and allowing us to maintain it. So it's the iddhi. So it's kind of like the very fundamental purpose of it. So then, when it comes to ourselves, most of time we think gaining something, achieving something, holding something, is our very purpose. But look at the world. When we achieve to something, it takes us to something else. How many things we achieved in our life so far? But it never came to an end. It always takes us to something else, something else, something else. So that's why this fulfillment is not the end of our journey. So when it comes to deeper level of this human mechanism, clear comprehension or the direct perception is the fulfillment. So if you are capable to come to a very clear moment of experience with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, without interference of your memory, without having effort to understand something, if you are directly, that the whatever appearance itself directly give you the clear wisdom, and that is where the fulfillment comes. So that is what another way called the truth. So moment of experience, why it is difficult to achieve? So nothing wrong with anything, because we have a habit to use our memory, use our past experience, and again and again, we use that. And so then by the time what happens, just imagine with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, all these 6 senses. Again and again you use the memory. So it becomes a kind of like a current. It's kind of like an energy. So even though there is not a permanent thing like that, but now you kind of like a feel there is something. So anything, if you see anything kind of like a ceiling fan or anything, it start to move very fast in the same circle, rotating, what you start to see? You start to see kind of like something solid there in a different pattern, but it's not like that. So the same thing happened to us. So then the very first thing is slowing down ourselves is the one of the key point when you come to practice to understand yourself and focus yourself. Slow down. So as we all know, the physically we are so busy and interfere and we are so fast with things, but the physical reaction come up because of the mental force. So then put your attention to slow down. Especially when it comes to practice meditation, one of the important thing is slow down yourself inside with your attention, with your awareness, is one of the major important skill that you have to develop. Slow down. And the physically also, then by the time you can apply it, but it is important mentally, little by little, you slow down. So when you slow down, it gives ability to develop the clarity. Another thing is having the faith. the thrust towards the truth or towards the practice, conviction. Because most of time, we don't have the trust regarding our own practice. We start to do many things. So in that way, you can't develop it. So once you slow down your deeper attention or the intention towards the practice, and the very next thing start to trust the process. So be with it. And then by the time, it will take you to see that you are more capable to understand things than you think. There is a more different version of you. And sometimes you have seen when you get mad, when you get angry, when you get emotionally high, when you get hungry, sometimes you react in a kind of like a different mood. It's a kind of like a totally, completely different version of you. So the same thing, if you reverse that, when you become aware, when you become mindful, there is a different version of you. You may never experience it. It's still there. You never saw that. So then this practice gives you that the ability yourself to get into that level. But you have to trust the truth. So the truth means what? Here, the direct perception, achieving to direct perception. So then in the very first level, what is the barrier? The barrier is our own memory, comparison, repetition of our own experience. So then how we can get out of it? The very first level, slow down and more and more and more be very clear with the moment of experience. So then by the time you will merge with the direct perception and anything that whatever appear, that appearance itself become your recognition. So in that very level, the experience going to be there, understanding going to be there, but the surface level of thoughts not going to be there. So in that level, you recognize this I am is not separate from this anything, whatever experience. Experience and experiencer, the both depending from each other. Once you recognize that, you become part of this everything. It's kind of like you recognizing you are not self-centered, separated, permanent entity that can sit somewhere and experience something differently. So whatever the experience itself is the definition of you. So once you come to that level deeply, it will take you to self-realization. So that is where you become more humble, and that is where you become more flexible. and adapt to situations each and every moment, accepting it as it is. And when it comes to our human mind, you have that capacity. And when it comes to awareness, that is where you're going to end. So then give moment of chance. Let your moment of awareness to experience that. And in that very moment, you will see that what we plan ahead or what we dream about something, also in the conventional level, it is a life, but underneath that, there is a different things happens. So if you understand that, and that understanding become kind of like a miracle. So when it comes to supernatural powers, miracles, in the outside world, we always try to maintain and do things with the material things. So this material things itself changing and itself going to be impermanent. But deeply, if you are capable to merge and understand that true nature that you can access with the conscious mind is going to become different miracle. So rather than playing with the objects, and start to recognize this subject. So in that way, you give a more deeper meaning to your life. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Sopatteva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. When it happens through the sensation, recognize it. Do nothing extra. If your mind go here and there, bring it back again and again and settle down with the breathing. If your breathing become more familiar, sharp, and develop your attention little by little, Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. Your backside. Your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ettavata mehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhutanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe sattanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya. Buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi. Addaya imaya patipattiya. Jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjissami. Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.